All right, so you're going to watch a timer for 5 minutes. There we go. All right, so we're not even going to introduce or anything. We're just going to have a banter for the desktop audio while we wait for 5 minutes.
Cool. Works for me.
Yeah. But, all right, so I got your audio, which is good. That way, you know, if anyone's watching this, that way they have something to watch for the first 5 minutes and they can see it's not rainbows and unicorns when it comes to doing some of these live streams and these YouTube events.
That's for sure.
What's going on? Oh, great. No, I want to do that. I want to move. Nope, I want to move the timer because I don't want your name cut off. There you go. And then let's. Also, what I usually do is I jump over on my phone on my personal account and take a gander at the stream to see if it's coming through.
With MailChimp, you can guide customers along the path to purchase with our customer journey builder.
All right, that looks good. Take a gander at the stream to see. Check, check. Say something real quick.
Test.
Go on. Out. Say something real quick. All right, perfect. Your audio's good. My audio's good. Yeah. I want you guys to. We're just gonna kind of hang out and banter and talk, and we're getting everything going, and then we'll start responding to comments. You could see the Fonz. You could see the comments pretty good.
I can, yeah, and I got it pulled up on my phone as well.
Perfect. Yeah. No, you guys get to hang out with us for the next 2 minutes and 45 seconds while we get situated. That way it gives you guys plenty of time to hit the like button. Gives you plenty of time to go to Fonz Findz link in the description. I know, it's a hot mic. You guys can go into the link in the description and subscribe to Fonz Findz and turn on the bell notification for his channel as well, since we're both very similar. How's your day going, Fonz?
No, can't complain. A little busy with the long weekend. Heard you got to spend some time at SeaWorld yesterday.
We did. It was a nice time. It was busy, a lot busier than I thought it would be, but it was a nice time with my wife and my kids. I mean, I gotta include them.
Years since I've been over there, and you know, being from Colorado, I love Florida, and at least it's kind of a nice day today, so can't complain. But nothing like you guys probably have. What's it, like 70 degrees there?
Actually, it's a little it was a little brisk this morning. Hey Siri, what's the weather today? I woke up, it was 43 degrees. Hey Siri, what's the weather today?
It's currently clear and 57 degrees.
Ooh.
Temperatures will be fairly consistent.
It's a chilly 57 degrees.
Oh man, that's balmy for here. I think it's like 32 here. So
that just means when I sit out on my patio with a cigar and a beverage, I might need a hoodie because I usually have a fan on to keep the cigar smoke, blowing around.
There you go.
I know it's not Helium related, but looking to get a custom rig for SC Prime from your mods in Discord. Yep, that's awesome. What's your we'll talk about SC Prime probably on stream. Just as long as someone reminds us. But yeah, we ended up getting annual passes, so that way we'll probably, because they were doing this free pre-K, like ages 3 to 6 passes for the year for the girls, so we got those 2 passes for them, and then my wife got a silver pass because she only needs the basics, and I ended up getting the platinum pass. That way we can get like the 50% off and, you know, free parking and free preferred parking, and then I can go to Busch Gardens whenever I want to ride their roller coasters.
They still offer the beer there?
No, they got rid of the beer, but yesterday for the weekend they were doing free beer at one of the like little bars there, and it was a little 7-ounce pour, and they put a little black X on your hand in Sharpie, but they also kept hand sanitizer right next to the station, so I could just wipe it off drink a beer, wait for a shift change, and go back to it. All right.
Here we go.
Looks like we are going. Oh no, where'd you go? Where'd you go? No, I gotta get you back. Oh man, the whole thing's like crashing.
Uh-oh.
All right, so that's back. Let's see, where are you? Showing me you on there. On the share screen, it's showing it. Can I just not see it on mine? It's complicated. Yeah, no, I can't see you. Oh, Fonz, where are you? Where'd you go, buddy? See if we can redo this. Oh yeah, it's giving me an error. No, that's not it. Wow. Oh, there's the behind the scenes stuff. Crap. It might just be your voice. I might have to just grab your face. What if we move this all the way down? Down here? Wow. Sorry, everybody. Not exactly the way I wanted to start this. Might be my computer. Let's see if we could cheat it. I bet you I could cheat it. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him. Alright, where are you? Let's see. So I got you here. There he is right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can cheat this. Now! What up, dudes? So just so you guys know, I am hanging out with Fonz. He's right here on screen. And I know it's giving us some issues. And he's going to get a headache. I can't even like hide you down here without it screwing everything up. Maybe I'll leave you down over there. And so what'll happen is, as we click on stuff, I'll just go back and forth so that way we can actually see you and hang out. Or maybe if I do this. Yeah, let's work on this. Professional streamer, ladies and gentlemen. Professional streamer. I know what I'm doing. I promise I know what I'm doing. I promise. Alright. And then we can start talking about miners and stuff. That should be good there. And you're just going to hide every time I have to type. How about that? There he is. All right. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Sorry about that. I'm trying to figure stuff out. Of course, you guys see we've got another fellow YouTuber, Fonz Findz. He is joining us today. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell. Fonz, how you doing, brother?
Bryce, not bad, man. Thank you so much for having me today. Looking forward to chatting about HNT.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And why don't you tell everyone, just in case I've got some subscribers that aren't subscribed to you, a little bit about your network. We can pull it up on screen. If you don't want it pulled up on screen, I completely understand. I'll just leave mine up for a minute. And, yeah, let them know what kind of network you're working with.
Yeah, so right now I have 5 Helium miners. 2 Nibras, 2 racks, one of which is a OP V1, the other one's a V2, and then I have a, my last one there is one of the seeds, sense caps, that's the word I was looking for. So network of 5, well, 4 of them are in kind of the Denver proper or metro area, some a little bit out in the suburbs, and then I have one in kind of the small college town of Laramie, Wyoming. And I got into HNT / helium mining October of 2020. So I've seen the network shift quite a bit. And, you know, I remember when earnings, I used to have some miners that would make 20 or 30 HNT a day. And of course, we all know that that's not the case anymore. And the network has rapidly expanded, so it's been quite the journey, but I know people are always looking for ways to kind of make their networks better, and you know, whether it be antennas or there's all sorts of tips and tricks out there that I think are kind of interesting to learn, and the network's constantly evolving. So cool project though.
Oh yeah, what kind of antennas you rocking?
Pretty much all of them are rack, either 5.8 dBIs or the 8 dBIs. I get varying results. The eight seems to work very well up in Laramie, Wyoming, because it's relatively flat, and I've made connections from like Fort Collins to Laramie, which is like like an hour drive. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how many kilometers or miles. I guess we could pull that up, but yeah, most of I don't think I have any miners with the stocks anymore. I did do a little testing, and I just never got as good of results with the stock antenna. But I've heard so many different things, and I think it really just varies based on your location a lot.
Yeah. What's like how I have my two Bobcats? They've got 25 feet of LMR 400 cable. What is like your longest cable draw to that?
For a while, my longest was 12 foot, but I cut that down and redid that setup, and now my longest one's about 3 feet. What had happened was I tried to put one on the roof, but my HOA sent me a letter, and so then I ended up just kind of doing an attic setup, and I actually made a video about kind of comparing my results of how it performed in the attic versus on the roof, and then I tried different DJs, and that was months ago now at this point. So I would like to do something like that again, because environment's just constantly changing, and what works today might not necessarily work tomorrow, it seems like.
Yeah, I watched back when I was doing my setup when I first got going, and I did the whole the week video, and it was like the 0.24 for 2 miners for the week. I watched two guys that did a roof setup initially and then an attic setup. You were one of them, and then another one was like a good old country boy kind of guy, not really a big YouTuber or anything, just kind of setting it up. And I believe I saw better results from your attic placement than your roof placement. One of you guys it was. I mean, this is a while ago, and you all know I drink. So speaking of drinks, we're drinking a Man-Child peanut butter and jelly sour ale with grape and blackberry. Stay tuned to tomorrow's video for the official review. But yeah, so did you get the better results in the attic versus your roof?
I did, and looking back on it, and kind of talking to other people about why that could be, I think there's either two reasons. When it was on the roof, it had the much longer cable, and I think I was getting some loss. So I think that kind of came into play, but also my roof is just super tall, and I mean, anything around me, it kind of overshoots. Besides the direct houses around me, I'm kind of in a little hilly area there, so I'm wondering if with the narrow band 8 dBi I was using, if I was just kind of overshooting some of the hot spots around me. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I tried it a few different ways, and the attic always worked better, and I was happy with that, because after getting the HOA letter, I just decided not to even mess around with the roof anymore anyway, and then you don't have to worry about lightning, and the setup is just more intense in my opinion when it is on the roof compared to kind of protected in your attic.
Yeah. And you made a good comment about the lightning arrestor, and I believe for every little adapter you have, there's like 0.1 dBi signal loss or a little bit more, so maybe that also is to be taken into consideration with the outdoor elements versus if you have a large attic, like you have a large one, I have a large one with decent height, versus like someone like my in-laws who have a manufactured home, and their house is only as tall as like the ceiling. So what are you sipping on?
Right. I got some Breckenridge whiskey right here.
There we go. All right. So, well, cheers to you. Cheers to everyone else. And why don't we say we've got a couple of miners to look at. Start going from there and take a look. Yeah, so the first one I got pulled up, it's from Benson C. It's Abel Raisin Lizard. He said, freaking Frontier Dynamic IP trying to open port. Any advice? Saw VPN as an option, but I don't know. So I pulled his up, and it looks like it's offline.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the port forwarding was one of the most frustrating things for me personally, and I see comments all over the place, and it's just tough because it varies with every router.
Oh, yeah, like the Nighthawk was easy, the TP Link not so much. I know, so I'm going to be getting a Mary IoT miner sometime this week, and I play poker every Thursday at my local bar, and that's right. Literally, I could maybe play a round of golf, a hole of golf, and get there. They gave me permission to put my miner up above their roof, but the only problem I'm having is they have that internet where you have to like log in on a browser and a device, and then put in a, like their password every time you go and join there. So I'm going to see what kind of results I get from that. So it'll be interesting to see that. But
yeah, I agree, and I've had people ask me too about if you could set it up, say, like Xfinity, for example, or what used to be Comcast, have hotspots where you can basically use your own login and use a guest network for to sign in, and they were wondering if you could do log in with that basically kind of public Wi-Fi. And I haven't heard that it ever has worked, but I'd be interested if there is kind of a way around it.
Yeah, so I'll fart around with that there, and if I do have an opportunity where I can run Ethernet directly to it, I think it's going to be a situation to where I am going to have the miner on the inside, because it's going to be Mary IoT, and I don't know if I'll be able to get up on the roof because it's like a commercial building, but we're going to see from there. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll probably be out there Thursday if I get it by then to install it. All right, so this guy, he's offline. We're starting to get some more miners flowing in. Let's pop up to the next one. Just kind of bounce it off of each other. Go from there. I hear my dog going crazy outside. Oh, we're going all the way to Turkey. We're going to Thanksgiving dinner. Let's see. All right, so you see the screen okay? Kind of see what we're rocking with. He's got a Bobcat 4 dBi 25 meters in the air. My advice on this one would just be change out from if you have the Bobcat stock antenna, change out from that.
And so that's another good question. The 25 meters there, I wonder if that is something on a pole based off meters off the ground, or are we kind of factoring in? Because it was my understanding that really you're supposed to just factor it in meters off of wherever your ground level is. You're not factoring in, say, your elevation as well. Is that your understanding?
That is my understanding as well. I had someone in the Discord making those comments saying he's like, I'm about 150 meters above sea level, and that's what he's putting in there. And I think he was getting affected by HIP 49. He was running the test, and it was saying that he would be affected by it because of his meters. And so, yeah, I don't think you're supposed to incorporate sea level as your altitude. It's really what your height is. Because, yeah, like, you in Denver are going to have a higher altitude than I am out here in Florida because I'm literally right on the ocean. So you're not going to sit there and put that your altitude is what, like 256 or 2,056 feet above sea level or something, where I'm only like 110 feet above sea level.
We're a mile high.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're not going to put that up at all. But I'm thinking it's just the Bobcat stock antenna. I like your 25 meter assessment, but that also potentially, if it's up on a pole, if he's running 25 meters and doesn't have and he's running a coax cable out to that, that's obviously some other issues. But I think it's just the Bobcat stock antenna is kind of the issue here. I'm trying to see if he responded back to our stuff, but no. So we'll move on to the next one. All right, let's see. Actually, let's go to a regular question. Jerry Music Lover is asking SenseCap versus. Actually, there was pause. There was a question before that I meant to read, but I didn't want to cut you off. It was essentially, how did we know each other or get in touch with each other? Yeah. So Bruce Mayax, hey, so you guys know each other. Good to see you both. Yeah. I mean, I found Fonz for the block create and gotten interested in the project, and then I left some comments on his videos, and then he reached out to me on Discord. Long story short.
We had a nice late night chat the other night. That was fun. So
yes,
just figured it'd be fun to do something like this.
I'm sorry I was a little intoxicated that night, and I was like, man, I kind of sound like a pompous ass when I'm drunk.
That was a good night.
Yeah, definitely. My wife, I went to bed at it was like 3:30 in the morning for me, and I'm going to bed, and she's like, "Were you on the phone?" I was like, "Yeah, I was talking to another YouTuber. He's based out on the West Coast, so he's 3 hours behind." She's like, "You were so loud." She's like, "You're not that loud when you play Call of Duty." I'm like, "I'm sorry." All right, here's another question from Jerry Music Lover: SenseCap versus Bobcat opinions? Because you said you had SenseCaps.
I do. I have one. I have two. So I'm sorry. I have one Nebra, two SenseCaps. I got them towards the beginning. I don't have a Bobcat, and I know that a lot of people like them, and they were some of the quickest to actually ship a bunch of the units out. One thing I'll say about SenseCap is I did have issues with one of them for connecting to the Wi-Fi. So I actually had to, I tried to troubleshoot it, and I had to just hardwire it via Ethernet. So it wasn't a big deal. It happened to be by the router, and it didn't matter too much, but I could see that would be very annoying if you couldn't figure that out, because it was dead in the water until I tried multiple different things. And I saw that other people had problems with that as well, and you had to kind of switch out a part, which I didn't really want to mess with. So I don't know a whole lot about the Bobcats. It seems like a lot of people like them, and they did a good job on delivering. But SenseCaps, yeah, they've done well as well. Besides the one issue I had with the connecting it directly to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. My dog's chewing up one of my kids' books, so I'm gonna go grab that. But if you can see the comments, if you want to answer anything that's there, I have to go beat my dog real quick.
Okay. I mean, and just a little bit more on that question. I mean, there's so many different options now, and I know one of the biggest problems that we've had with these devices is once this project kind of blew up, people were just looking for the quickest way and quickest option to get miners, and it kind of changed all the time. And I there was Nebra that gave a bunch of people problems, and I don't even know if they've still delivered all of their ones from 6 months or 9 months ago. So my kind of rule of thumb was whatever you could get your hands on, as long as the device worked. I didn't see much of a difference as far as my research goes on one performing better than the other. They all really kind of do the same thing. So that's been my experience, at least.
I'm back. Eber wants to know your thoughts on SC Prime.
SC Prime, so I kind of just randomly stumbled upon that project and ended up sending the company an email just to get a little more info, and one thing led to another. Ended up making a video for them, and they gave me kind of the same deal that you got as far as reimbursing on that. So I just can't believe when I made my first video, I think SCP was, the token was at like 20 cents. Now we're over $2 or something at last time I checked, and it's definitely an interesting project, decentralized cloud. Everyone's going to need this storage, especially once 5G expands. The amount of data that's going to be streaming over the internet requires a lot of bandwidth and requires these storage outlets. And kind of having this decentralized option now, I think, is really cool. And I know there's the concerns that, hey, I don't know what's being stored on here. And one of the comments that I got that kind of reassured me is that someone was claiming basically anyone that stores anything on your device, they are going to have to sign a contract. So anything illegal or anything like that happen to be stored on your website or on your device, basically fall back on them. Kind of the same thing. I'm sure Amazon has huge storage things that people may try to store illegal stuff on, and they're not going to be liable if they've made someone sign a contract.
Yeah. Also,
the way the data is stored on these devices, it's sharded. So the info on one device alone really doesn't do a whole lot of good. You got to combine it with info that's combined from other devices. So I think it's a really cool project. I think it's got a lot of potential. We're still very early, and I know it's kind of all the rave right now that people are trying to get their hands on one of those as well. And the team's actually out of Fort Collins, which is just about an hour north of me, and I've talked to a few of them. They're all very friendly, very smart individuals. So I think it could be a cool developing project up and coming here.
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to ask you a question. I forgot. I meant to ask this before we streamed because I wanted to pull up my screen, but I'm not going to pull up my actual ExaMiner information dashboard because of the IP address and stuff. But I have been running mine for the past, whenever, and there has been times where it's like I had to go reset it because it dropped out, and I've lost some of the uptime. But mine hasn't gone down in the past like 5 days, and I've noticed my uptime percentage is going down. Like when we talked the other night, I was at like 97 or like 98. Then the next morning I was at 97.5, and today I'm at like 96.6. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that's more of something just on their testing side that they lose connection with the devices, but it ends up hurting us. My internet actually went down the other day because they were doing an upgrade in my neighborhood, so I thought maybe that was part of it. But I think as long as you're in that 98, 99 range, they're not going to penalize you, hopefully.
I'm hoping to. I'm definitely hoping as well. Like there is going to be some human error. Like obviously if someone's at 75% uptime, maybe we slash a lot of their rewards, but still provide them for that 75%. But I think 96% uptime or no rewards is really, really, really ambitious. So
yeah, things happen.
Yeah, but that's something that like we can make our voices and our concerns about, especially since we're always like we're gung ho and we're showing this product, and we have this channel and this platform to be able to raise awareness where, we'll get a bunch of subscribers and commenters saying, hey, I'm having this issue, having this issue. That inspires a video, and then maybe that'll get stuff resolved. So, Hopium Jesus says, how is SC Prime different than any other older storage projects like Filecoin or Chia? And that's a good question because I wasn't really big. I've seen a few people with Chia, but I didn't do any of that or Filecoin. So I don't know if you did that and can answer better to it.
I know Filecoin was similar, and they did a run on Coinbase, which they did those videos, those like earn videos where you could earn. They might even still be up to kind of learn about the project, and that's where I was first introduced. And I think they're similar. They don't. I think what makes them a little different. They don't have a plug-and-play device, but you can, I think, host your own storage space for that network as well. I haven't looked into it as much. I think that's more similar. I never got into the is that Chia or the
Chia? Yeah, yeah.
That always, and behind the plots and all that, that one just had some red flags, so I never really went into that one a whole lot.
I agree.
But I'm sure we're going to get a lot more companies that follow suit.
Let's see, what is this one? You were competing with data centers that have up to 99.99%. Asking for 96% isn't unreasonable. Well, yeah, you're competing with the data centers, but they also have that technology, Nicholas, or they also have the opportunity and the luxury and the staffing to keep these devices running 24/7. They have the maintenance people. They have these people that they pay, whereas people like Fonz and I and you guys, we have these outside lives, and we can't. Our expectation is we buy these cool miners and we tuck them away in somewhere that it's going to be, well ventilated but not noisy or get in the way of our everyday life. So really, when they're all blinking and everything's fine, we're not going to check on them until we go to the dashboard and see that they're offline, then have to go and reset them or do something. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, that 96% is not unreasonable, but at the same time, we're all humans and your average Joe's doing this. Yeah, so I got that one there. Let's look up a miner. let's keep in tune with the title, Best Helium Strategies. Let's go to Dubai, shall we? Let's go to Dubai. All right, so in Dubai, we've got a mile site, 2 dBi, 55 meters. I don't know why. Mile site, 2 dBi, do you think I need a 5.8 or an 8.0? Cheers from Dubai. Honestly, looking at this setup, if you've already rocking 5.86 a day and looking at all the stuff that you're hitting and with how high you are, I wouldn't change a damn thing. What do you think, Fonz?
Yeah, I agree. And just, I don't know that area super well, but I have looked at the the island and going there, because that would be an awesome place to travel to. But I'm pretty sure it's fairly flat. Yeah, don't mess with something that's good. 0.58. That's pretty decent. If you could you pull out a little bit?
Yeah.
Just trying to see what the. Yeah. So I mean, you could maybe hit something up north there with the 8, but you might lose some of your closer ones. I think personally. So I don't know. I'm with you there. I like where you're at.
I would maybe consider testing like a 6, but I think you're right with the 8. Like, especially with the height that we're at, we're gonna be, if we pop out to the 8, we're gonna overshoot a lot of this stuff here. So maybe even a 4. Like if you do like a McGill 3.0 or a 4.0, you might get a little better. But I just did that little scale, and his farthest witness is 41 kilometers with this guy over here at 32. So I don't. Looking at his 7-day and his 14-day. Like, yeah, there's some opportunity, but there's also 2 days there where, like 2 or 3 days there where the mile sites were, like my mile site went down for like 6 days in that 30-day spread. So maybe, I guess. But he's got a good spot. All right, let's look at the next one. I've got one loaded up here. We're going to go back to Canada. Try a 4. Yeah, MM says try a 4. I don't disagree with MM on that one. All right, let's look at this one. All right, so I'm looking at this one right off the bat, and I'm going to tell you that what I always say on the channel is that we try for a goal of 7 days, 2.5 to 3.5 helium. In a 30-day spread, you want 10 or more. This gentleman's got a Bobcat, 8 dBi, 8 meters in the air, and he's hitting the goal. I don't have anything that I would recommend unless you have different goals than that.
I'm with you. I mean, that's a good number, honestly, to shoot for. Those are good numbers, I think, and he's getting good spread all the way around for the most part. So I like that pattern. Yeah, it's just one of those things where you start messing around too much, and you could mess up something that's good, and then not be able to get that back. So.
Yeah. Exactly. But I mean, if he does want to test the water, he already has the 8. The 8. There's really nothing you're going to want to test the waters on. I can't even recommend a directional because of his area that he's getting. His only issue is his transmit scale, just because that area is congested. But even with that that congestion, still got good numbers. So, hey, what's going on, virtual reality for me, crypto? All right, so we're gonna look at. I'm gonna highlight it here. Glamorous Candy Tadpole. Let's take a look.
While you're pulling that up, I saw one of the other comments about my attic setup. I did make a video that shows kind of what that looks like. It's really not that fancy or anything, but it's, I think, well, I'll maybe we can leave a comment or something with that video, just a link to that video if you're curious to see that, because it was made a couple months ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you want to, hey, Kato415, thanks for the $1 super chat. If you want to, at the end of the stream, it'll be loaded up for anyone to watch, like, in the future. You can definitely comment it, and I'll pin it at the top, so that way, anyone that wants to see your setup. I think yours had a little bit more in-depth look at your attic setup than mine, because mine was just like, I put it up, I did a quick selfie, and I was done. So we'll do that. This gentleman's got an 8 dBi, 5 meters in the air. I think 8 dBi might be good. I think the height is what sucks. Wow. All right. What was he doing? Oh, he was okay. So he had a big dead period as well. I think this is really just the height, so he needs to get up much higher.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see the surroundings too. There's a lot of water, which these signals carry pretty well over water. So, well, it's Florida, so I'm guessing it's pretty
flat.
Pretty flat in that area.
Yep. And he's so close to Orlando, so I really think that it is a height situation because I mean, mine hit Florida. No shit, mine hit Florida. Mine hit Orlando all the time. Let me see if any of mine are actually hitting Orlando right now with my setup. So we'll start with Brief Taupe. I'm hitting even past Orlando, and you can see I'm clearing the water there. So Brief Taupe is hitting Orlando, is hitting up or past Orlando. The mile site, which I'm up to 20 helium in 30 days, which is awesome because I was down for 6 days. Oh yeah, look at that. We're touching Orlando, Oviedo, all that stuff all around. Hey, nerdy, I have a family in California, Mount Shasta, California, with no hotspots. Would you advise me setting one up there? I mean, yeah, based on the area. All right, so we were looking at one earlier, and I feel bad for Sky Gamer. Let's go ahead and look back at that one, because I don't mean to be like a tease, and be like, haha. But I think on this one, it was the height issue as well. This was a Rack Wireless 5.8, 5 meters in the air, and I think this one would be a height situation as well. Let's pull back. Yeah, my thing is height and cable.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Zealous Cotton Koala. Argentina got a 6 dBi McGill on the way, but I'm not sure if I should go for a panel antenna instead. I don't have any experience with the panel antennas. I think Helium Mart might be sending me one to test out and stuff, but I don't know. Do you have any experience with those?
Don't. So are those more of like the directional?
I think so. Is helium mining dead? That's a really good one. No, I do not believe helium mining is dead. I believe we are in the initial gold rush of helium mining. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. You know, the IoT networks had a long way to go, and I think that's to be widely used pretty soon here. I think we need to start getting some adoption on there, but the growth phase has gone really well now. Comparatively, when you're looking at the people who hopped on and you used to make 100 HNT a day, and if you held on to those, you're probably a millionaire. Sure, it's not those days anymore, but we're still in the gold rush. I mean, there's still profits to be made, and I think you know, even if you're making a half an HNT or a quarter of an HNT a day, that's still residual income that you're basically doing nothing for.
Yeah.
So, I'm not unplugging mine anytime soon.
Oh, I don't think so either. I don't think there wouldn't be any need to. Even if like we get to a point of max circulation, we're then going to have transactions be our next reward scale, because then people will rent the little electric scooters on the Helium network, and if they're hitting one of your networks or utilizing your network, there's so much future and potential for the project. So we're not even close to it being dead. I don't even think we're close to toddler stage. Like right now we are still in like infant, like baby stage, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so what do we got next? All right, so we're looking at the one in Argentina. We didn't give opinions on that one. Even if he's got a panel antenna or a 6.0, it's just his area. And that's what I'm seeing. Like, you can have the best setup, and these people around you are going to have crap setups.
Yeah, you know, and I've seen it both ways, where actually the least or the less populated areas, you can actually make a decent amount. Like we could look at my Laramie, Wyoming one, and it's similar to this, but if enough people have decent setups and there's not all the competition you normally get, where you max out at the 20 or 25 connections, whatever it is anymore. So sometimes the less populated areas can actually pay off pretty well, but you're right, it also depends on how good the setups are. If someone's got their miner in a basement with the stock antenna, obviously, that's not going to help you much.
Yeah. What was the one you got that we can look at?
Yeah, so the one I have here in pull that up. I have all these memorized, but so my one in Wyoming is Future Linen Shrimp.
What was that? Hang on, I hit Do Not Disturb, and I don't know if it muted you. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Okay. I was just, my Discord notifications were going off, and so I hit Do Not Disturb because I just got a comment recommending to do that, so maybe they won't go off, and I was worried to talking to you on Discord, it was going to bleep, it was going to mute you or something. All right, so what was yours? It was, I'm sorry.
Yeah, my one in Laramie is Future Linen Shrimp.
Future what?
Linen, Linen.
Okay, Future Linen. Okay, Future Linen
Shrimp.
Okay, I see it there. And of course, I'm just going to go ahead and keep typing. Herp derp derp. All right. Let's take a look. You should get that made as an NFT.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that area. That's the best you can do in that area, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hitting almost every hex there, it looks like. Yeah. And the nearest city, the nearest major city where we're going to get any more is probably Cheyenne, which is about an hour. So, I don't know if I did a directional, I could hit something over there. But I'm pretty happy with that spread. I mean, if I can capture almost all of them in that little town, that's, and the earnings are decent. I don't know. Have you noticed that spike over the last week or so
in the earnings?
Yeah, on yours.
Yeah, I had the highest day I've ever had yesterday. I don't know, and then it kind of like seemed to balance back down. Like I a couple days there, I jumped up over 3 helium a day, and then we've kind of just jumped back down, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Like,
Sure,
yeah, no complaints there, no complaints whatsoever. So I don't know if I do a directional because it looks like you got some elevation between you and Cheyenne. And then nothing. I mean,
yeah.
maybe down here to Fort Collins, but I don't know.
It's also, about a 2-hour drive from me, and anytime I have to make any tweaks, I have to drive up, see my brother, and do that. So it's one of those things where it's like, don't fix what isn't broken.
Exactly. I would just leave it there and mind what you're getting. That's it. Yeah. One of our commenters, said he spent 9 months there. Don't miss it. And then he said, yeah, there's a mountain between Cheyenne and here, if he remembers correctly, and we could see that in the elevation there. So, all right, what else do we got? Let's pull up another one. Oh, $5 super chat from Bill Williamson. Does he have a miner for us to look at? Thank you very much. I'll probably have to send you some helium for some of the super chats. Looking to improve my earnings on a small hill over the city. No, I'm still waiting for Bill Williamson to see if he got anything. Fort Collins. Oh, yep. Says Fort Collins, you got the Rockies. All right, so petite, mossy bear. Let's see. Now, while we're looking this up, when you started helium mining back in October 2020, were you smart and lucky and held onto a lot of those earnings when you were popping off at 20 to 30 a day, or did you go to the Hard Rock and blow it all on a blackjack table?
I held on to a lot of it for a while, and then I kind of got to a point where I was like, okay, I want to buy 3 or more miners, but hey, I got the helium. Let's go ahead and use some of my earnings.
Yeah.
So I sold, I don't know, maybe of course, and this sounds bad, like 500 HNT when it was $3 or $4. So yeah, that kind of sucks, but what can you do? And then I sold off a little more when it hit 20, just because I wasn't sure if it was going to pull back, but that's really it. I mean, I've got most of all my recent earnings and don't have any plans to sell for the future. It's just one of those things that, like you said, who knows where the price on this could go. Yeah.
I'll hold on to mine. I know that they're going to be doing the and I got Bill Williamson, who did the $5 super chat. His miner pulled up. We'll do that here in just a second. But I'm holding on for 2 things. One, either the token gets up to $100 a pop, or when we get into the reallocation, the 1,000 to 1, to see how that changes. Like, I'm hoping for like a Polkadot 4x market cap increase. So I'm kind of in that ballpark, and I'm just staking all mine right now into helium stake, just to keep that growing and earning. Excuse me.
I see. I haven't done much staking, but I think that's something I should look into a little bit more.
I just do it because I don't want it just sitting there collecting dust. Like, once we earn the helium, we don't earn anything else. So it's just like, this is a trusted, like, I trust the helium staking site. I've talked to the guy that develops it that develops it. So at least my helium's sitting there earning more. Like, it might only be like 0.01 to 0.02 helium a day, but as I'm putting in 15 helium a week, that's going to grow exponentially to either get that big price jump that we're hoping for, or that distribution, and then I can retire.
Yeah, there you go. That's the dream.
Oh, absolutely. All right, so we pulled up Shambolic Bone Raccoon. This is for Bill Williamson, and he has we got a $1 super chat from Zach, so we'll look at that one next. He's got a Bobcat 5.84 meters up, and his hotspot is relayed. Now, I know, and he made a comment about, what's his comment here? My miners recently went into relay and my earnings went up. I think you also have a miner that is relayed and you were delaying fixing it. Do you have any advice fixing the miner? If your earnings have gone up, I would leave it. Like, I'm leaving the mile site. It's getting earnings. I'm not motivated to fix it or anything like that. But I would just recommend getting up higher, because you're at 4 meters. Try to get yourself to 8 to 10 meters and see if that works even better on top of that relayed situation. And I'll leave it open for Mr. Fonz here if you have anything other than just the height.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's quite a bit of saturation around you there, so more competition. But I would imagine there's definitely some more you could be picking up on. So I think height hopefully should do a little bit there. And I know sometimes height's tough for people if there's HOA restrictions or different rules in your area, it can make getting the height you want hard. But that's why I really was happy with the way it turned out with my attic setup. And
Yeah.
Without being on the roof, that's about as high as you can get in most houses. So
Yeah.
just a thought.
All right, moving on to our next one. We got a $1 super chat from Zach Pasternak, and he is saying, can you look at stale bronze tadpole? Sure, we looked at it. All right, moving on. No, just kidding. Let's see what he's rocking. He's got a Bobcat, 8 dBi, 15 meters up in the air. 8 dBi could be potentially pretty well here. If he's 15 meters up in the air, it's really, I think maybe we're in a scenario where his cable might not be top notch.
Yeah, I agree. I'd be curious to know how long his cable is.
Yeah. Do you think the omnidirectional antenna would work for my spot? This is also from him as well. I don't think the omnidirectional would benefit him in this area just because it is a little built up around him. But really, what's he going to be shooting for? I mean, he could shoot up towards Maryland, but we're looking at 153 kilometers. Hey, Siri, what's 153 kilometers to miles?
153 kilometers is 95.07 miles.
Yeah, I don't think a directional will help him get 95 miles worth of signal.
That'd be a long shot. Yeah, I think my record is like 85 kilometers or something with my 8. So you can get some decent distance, and I know Omni's maybe even a little further, but that's sufficient.
Yeah. So I think it's really just his area, and it's probably a cord situation there. That's just what I'm looking at. All right, next one. We got Johnny Ruffles, $5 super chat. He's got high current Raven and upbeat Mandarian Liger, 700 meters apart. Attic setups just outside huge cluster in Trenton, New Jersey. 5.8 dBi antennas on both. Any advice? So let's take a look. So I want to find his other one. So he's got that one right here, and then his other one, because really when it comes to a scenario where if you've got yours close together like mine, my main goal is to get them talking back and forth. And it looks like they are. So he's got them right next to each other, and they're talking back and forth, and that's where I would be happy. So since he's got 2 miners, I'm going to pull up his account in total and see what he's looking at. So he's got 0.29, 2.4. So we're lacking a little bit. All right, so let's go back to the hotspots. 5.8, 5, and 10. High current Raven is at 5 meters, 5.8. It's got a nice little spread here, and that's at 0.04. Let's take a look at the 30 days. 1.93. His other one is up higher, and it looks like that one's doing the work. 0.24. Yeah, so I think in this scenario, you can answer your own question. One is at 10 meters and one is at 5 meters. One's making 0.24, the other one's making 0.04. So if he can replicate his other one, then he would be... Why is someone giving me an angry face? Is 1,000 USD for Helium miner overpriced? Not really. But yeah, I think if he can match his setup on his other, like his more successful one, match the setup on his not so successful one, he might see better returns. What do you think?
Yeah, and they were both attic. Is that right?
Yeah, I think he said both of them were attic.
The only thing I can think of is maybe the materials on a roof can definitely change. So I don't know if he has these in 2 different attics or what, but if you got like a tile roof compared to like a shake roof or anything like that is kind of where my head's going, or any strange interference, because they're basically in the same area, but maybe a tall tree around it. It's amazing just the smallest difference even a few hundred yards can make.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I agree with that. If he can get up to 10 meters, do that. But other than that, he's got 1 success. Dude, I'm not going to check. All right, no more RMR. You're going in timeout. You just spam like crazy. Like crazy. Putting you in timeout. Put yours in timeout. I was going to check yours, but now I'm not. All right. Fluffy Sandstorm. Oh, okay. I'm going to take a pause here. And unless anyone super chats, we're going to look them up immediately. Because since you got me into the project and you hooked me on it, block create. I don't remember if we talked about this Sunday, but did you figure out what block you had?
Yeah, Solana.
Solana? Okay, so you got one. Is Solana, that was one of the mystery ones, right?
Yeah.
And okay, cool. I'm gonna do a video on this because one of my subscribers reached out to me in Discord and they're like, "This is how you look it up." And I'm sitting there staring at it. I'm like, I am so stupid.
I actually had to send a message over to the Austin to figure that out too. But it's just based on, you can figure it out from, when you upload the wallet, it gives you the number, the asset number, and then you just bring it over to the Explorer and match it up.
Yeah.
But I actually haven't cracked open my other first edition. I'm kind of curious to see what I have in there. But knowing now that you don't have to crack them open at this point for them to earn, I'm kind of just leaving it be to what kind of happens with the marketplace.
Yeah. I saw earlier today that since Cardano went up in market, not earlier today, but it was whenever I pulled up Twitter, since Cardano went up in market cap, that those miners are earning more blocks because of that. So I have a Bitcoin block, which I'm awesome. Did you get an email about shipping block create? No, I didn't. But yeah, I got a Bitcoin block on my first one. I don't know what the second one is yet because I haven't received it, but that really excites me because of how we've seen Bitcoin jump up to like $65,000. Right now it's at 41,000 and I'm making 576 blocks a day. So when that market cap increases, $10 super chat from Clifford K. Thank you very much. And if he blops a miner, and we're going to look his up. Also, hello everyone that's just joining. I see a bunch of highs in the comments, and I know Tame Pistachio Dachshund. All right, we'll pull it up. I know that Fonz and I are talking and not saying hi to you guys as much as like normally, but welcome to the stream. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell. Go to Fonz's channel. Link is for that in the description of the stream. Like, comment, turn on the bell as well. He's got very detailed videos. I've got very drunken, stupid, off-the-wall videos. So if I touch base on something, you're going to get a lot more information from Fonz. I recommend it.
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah. No, dude. Like, you go into way more detail. Like, I'm just like, here's my stuff. Okay, bye. But since we got that $10 super chat, we are going to take a look at Tame Pistachio. If I could put it in there. Tame Pistachio Dachshund. But yeah, we'll get back to block here in just a few minutes as well. Do I buy a Helium? I'm trying to get it in there. Tame. Why is it not doing it? I know they're having some API issues as well. I hate that it's doing this. Tame Pistachio. I'm going to have to refresh the thing if it's not going to pull it up. Yeah, let's refresh it. Unless I'm staring at it. Am I staring at it? I am. Wow. Wow. I've only had half my beer and I'm already this stupid. All right, Clifford K. Oh, we got a $5 super chat. You will be next, Dem Sugar Walls 22. All right, so we're looking at Clifford K, Tame Pistachio Dachshund, Bobcat, 8 dBi, 6 meters up. Do you prefer IPA or New England IPA? That's an easy one. I prefer Dippas. I like Dippas, but I like hazy IPAs the most right now. All right, so back to the question at hand. He's making 0.11, 0.37. All right, we got some work to do here. So looking at this one, 8 dBi, 6 meters up, Bobcat. He's got everything open. Transmit scale's perfectly fine. I can't really say necessarily it's his area. I'm always going to recommend height. And Clifford, what kind of cable are you using? And I'm going to copy and paste our next one here in a second. Yeah, these are the ones that always stump me too. Like if this was out in a smaller area, I can really maybe think it's cable quality and the elements. Also with an 8 dBi antenna, it could potentially be not level because you need to make sure you have them leveled. Amazon antenna in the attic, 30 feet. There, 30 feet LMR 400. Okay, how much did you pay for that cable?
Bet that was pricey. If it was a good one.
If it's a good one. Because Amazon does have listings on there. They say they're LMR 400s. They say they're ultra signal protection and a 30-foot LMR 400. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Fat Dave 29 that the Amazon ones are. You just Amazon antenna. Oh, and it's an Amazon antenna. It might be the Amazon antenna. He might have got scammed on it.
Yeah. those are a couple things where you can't really skimp out. I mean, if it's something that you're planning on having up for years to come, I know it's a little bigger investment, but the you're gonna get what you pay for, especially on the cable. If you know you're gonna, I spent a little extra on some custom cable.
Yep, me
because
too.
I knew it would be there for a while.
Yep. Yeah, so good example for the Amazon is that this setup right here in my hand, this antenna said that it was a 10 dBi antenna, and I know my viewers are probably sick of me talking about this, but it said this was a 10 dBi antenna, and it said this was an ultra, low signal loss cable, and that's 25 footer. I spent $75 for this setup, and this is really a 3 dBi antenna, and this cable is trash. So imagine if I also had I had to have an adapter on the cable to go from the antenna, or from the cable to the antenna as well, because this was like N-type whatever. So that's another signal loss as well. So I really think that, yeah, it sounds like you've just got poor quality off of Amazon. And if it's a 30-foot LMR, I wouldn't go anything above 25 feet, because 25 feet LMR, a good quality one, is a 1.1 dBi signal loss. Anything over that, you're looking at like 1.4 dBi signal loss. So I think you might need to shell out a couple of more bucks to get some actual good quality stuff. If I can fix this. There we go. Yeah, because looking at his area, there's no reason why he shouldn't be hitting anybody at all.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right, that was an easy answer once we found out it was Amazon. All right, so try that, Clifford. Let us know. Hit us back up if you make some changes, or leave some comments, or reach out in Telegram, Twitter, or Discord or Twitter. I don't know why I still keep talking about Telegram. All right, so next we have Dem Sugar Walls 22. I have a 6 dBi omnidirectional antenna. Oh, I thought like directional for a second when I read omnidirectional. Not the best height. Apartment, first floor. Will a directional antenna work better? Let's pull that up. Curved Aqua Cougar. All right, so if I had this miner, and I would go to my guy that makes NFTs based off the miner names, and if he didn't give me like an attractive 45-year-old versus the actual cat, I'd be pissed. Because that name, Curved Aqua Cougar, that's like an old mermaid. Like a, So, first off, Dem Sugarwall, go get this made as an NFT. And make sure it comes back as an old sexy mermaid. All right, so first floor, omnidirectional, 6.0. Let's scroll down. Oh, he was answering more questions. Okay, so I'm looking at this, and I think it is the height. That is the big issue, because in our 30-day time frame, we're making 33.19 helium. I think it is height that's the issue. If you have the opportunity to get higher, which I know you're in an apartment, I don't think you need the omnidirectional. Or I don't think you need the directional. What do you think, Fonz?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you can't get the height, maybe the directional, and if you got a good window or something, this one may be kind of more trial and error. But you're right. I mean, you should be able to capture a lot of those if you get a little height on.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of ways we can work around an apartment building. Like maybe if you can do a scenario, it went down due to syncing issues as well. Yeah, that happens a lot, especially every time they do an update. But apparently we have to switch over to bigger SD cards to keep navigating around that. But I think in an apartment building, you can kind of be a little sneaky and crafty to where you can like run the cable out the window and punch it through the screen and then put it up on like a little pole like behind some trees and stuff. But really depends on where you live. If you're in your apartment, maybe there's access to the crawl space. Try putting it up in there. But that's about it. Let's judge an area. Let's do that. Christoph Palakakak. Whoa, this is different. Yeah. Yep, we are doing a co-host stream with Fonz Findz. Link for his channel in the description, so go. And I did the NFT Helium miner, and mine looked like a dead fish on a slab. LOL, amusing. Punch barbell. That's awesome. Go subscribe, turn on the bell notification to Fonz Findz. I think he's at 4.7 thousand. Let's get him to 5,000. That would be awesome. All right. Petite. I want to look at this area and see what we And I'm going to let you talk first because I keep yapping first. We're going to look at this area. What do you think of this area? I'm planning to set up a miner on the hex right side. Opinions, what antenna to use. I got 12 meter elevation, omni versus directional. So it's not going to be this miner. It's going to be the hex right next to it. So we're looking at this hex right here. That one right there.
Yeah. I mean, I like the cluster right there. If you can always find an empty hex, that's always going to be preferred. And I'm not, you know, that this is Eastern Europe, right? So I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's probably some mountains up that way. And I mean, you have a hard time hitting some of those further that first ring out there maybe, but I think that hex, if there's no one else in there, I think you could have some luck and probably try to copy. That guy's not doing terrible, so I'd say, you know, try to have a similar setup. Interesting, he's got the Nibra and he's got a 3 dBi. He's got some height there, which is nice. But,
yeah.
That's kind of my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think your main focus is going to obviously be this cluster, and you can definitely copy him. I would maybe possibly bump it up to the 4.0 just to see if we can hit a little bit more. These people down here might have crappy placement. You could maybe with a 4 dBi get a couple of these out here, but they might have terrible placement. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't even bother trying to hit these ones out here. That would just be a waste of time.
Agreed.
I had to do it. I was like, oh! Yo, nerdy, cheers from Michigan. What's going on, Aaron Allen? All right, here's a comment that I think we discussed a little bit about this Sunday night, where Malco Alicia is asking, is Voscoin a scam? And I don't think Voscoin is a scam, more so a commercial.
Yeah, you know, I try not to hate on the community or anyone in it, just because it's great, anyone that's trying to promote crypto in the right way, but there are definitely those quote unquote chills and product placement and all that sometimes doesn't always apply to everyone, and but I don't know, I you know, even chatting with you here, you know, we're all trying to support each other, and I think that makes the community stronger. But he actually, you know, I've been following his videos for years at this point, so
yeah. I
don't know him personally or anything, but yeah, it does seem like some of his content is definitely more you know, commercial based. And
I don't think he's ever, like, with the stuff that he's involved in that we got involved in, I don't think he's ever steered us wrong. I mean, there's some stuff that I wouldn't get involved in, I know, unintentionally, you know, not at his fault of his own, but there might be rug pulls on some of these platforms. My only beef is that we got sold the dream of plug and play, put the antenna in the window, and if I didn't have a YouTube channel, like, other people would be under that same impression, be like, why am I not earning? Vosk did earn this setup, I'm copying his setup. So that's my only thing, is like, dude, no, show your crowd the right setup. Drives me nuts. Every time he uses the same stock footage, I'm like, no, redo it. Make it better. But, all right, enough of that side beam. We've got a $5 super chat from Eric Lydell. Just set up 4 to 5 days ago. Local diagnosis says synced, but syncing for days since on the Explorer. No data, no consensus. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right. Yep, says it's still syncing, but the good sign is you are getting rewards even though it says syncing. You've got your Bobcat when you start getting rewards. All right, so this one's also an easy one to go into the dashboard just to make sure. Oh, we got a 10-pound super chat. We're going to take a look at that one next from Mr. Lee 031. All right, so to finish this one off, Micro Mahogany Bobcat, go into your dashboard, so put in your IP address and see how much blocks it's behind. The good news is that you are earning some rewards while it says it's syncing. I would see how many blocks it's behind and then maybe do a reboot from the dashboard and then a fast sync, and that should get you going a little better. I know, Fonz, you said earlier you don't have Bobcats or any experience with them. Luckily, this is, the two that I have, so that's really, when I have these issues, that's what I go do, is I go into the dashboard, and I just kind of, like, we have this really cool dashboard, and I can show you off screen, because I usually, when I put it up, I have to block my IP address, or I can show you on screen. Hang on. I know I have something for this. I do. Okay. So that should be covering all up there, and so if we do... it's going to show it on screen anyway. So if we go into our dashboard here, so you can see right here, my synced gap is at 0, and my temperature for my Bobcat's at 59 degrees. So what I would do is I would see where we're at, and then I would do a reset on the, or I'd do a reboot on the miner, and then a fast sync. And the code for this is going to be, it's going to be admin for the, I think it's, Bobcat is the username, and miner, all lowercase, is the password for you to do this. If not, I think it's miner and then or admin and then miner, but I think it's Bobcat username password miner. So that's an easy one. Just see where you're at for synced. It's not behind, -5 blocks, -5 gap. So you're 5 blocks behind. Yeah, give it a quick reset and then do the fast sync, and it should be good for you there. That should do it. All right, cool. Now we've got Mr. Lee 031 with the 10 pound or the 10 euro. I think that's euro. Super chat. We've got Proud Mocha Gerbil. I have a McGill 4 dBi antenna and also LMR 400 from McGill. What you suggest? How to improve my earnings, and what you think maybe to replace my Bobcat with SenseCap? Ooh, we got a SenseCap versus Bobcat conversation coming up. Where's Goku? Let's get rid of Goku. All right, there we go. All right. And so we're looking at Proud Mocha Gerbil.
And that brings up a good point. I don't think there's ever a reason to replace. I mean, at the end of the day, they all should perform pretty similar. And wow, I mean, that's a nice spread there. I'm surprised the earnings are what they are. But I wouldn't say necessarily replace it. I think there's a lot of troubleshooting you can do before trying a different miner, because in theory they're all supposed to really do the same thing unless you have a lemon miner or something.
Yeah, now there was a batch from Bobcat, it was batch 21, that were lemons, and that's all I really remember about that. I don't know if they went and helped people replace them. I know that also sometimes with the Bobcats, people would have to open up the Bobcat and look for the little attachment from the coax cable antenna plug-in and resolder it, so that's kind of a scenario. Looking at this one, you're getting everything, but I don't know. Like, your transmit scale is half, which it is what it is because of your area. I agree 100% with you about saying replacing. It's better to add on versus replace. Like, I had a mediocre miner. Of course, I would just add another miner to my network, you know?
This is a good one. I mean, and the height's okay. I mean, he's hitting a ton of hotspots here. So I mean, it's just not equating to earnings for whatever reason.
The only other thing that I could be thinking about, that I could be putting together, is that all the miners that he is hitting are going to have poor transmit scales as well. So this might just be an example of a highly oversaturated area, and all the rewards that he's getting put out to people and that he's getting from people are going to be like halved at least. So yeah, so even this 1 hex up here, that's a 0.53 transmit scale, 0.53, 0.044. I know he was hitting some in this 10 box up here, and we're looking at everywhere from 0.26 to, there's a 1.0 down there, but that person doesn't look like they're even online. But 0.26 up to 0.67, 0.7 here, Yeah, saying change the transmit scale. So I guess that's kind of it's too okay, so it's too saturated. That's really what it is. So he's got the perfect setup and perfect placement, especially if he was getting what 137 witnesses, but all 137 witnesses are cutting the rewards at least in half. So let's go back to his numbers if he had good transmit scale. He'd be making 8.4 on paper, theoretically, 8.4 helium in a 30-day spread. Use Hotspot, he will tell you. Yeah, we know about Hotspot. But yeah, that's really all I got, is that the area is just super saturated. I don't think it's a dud miner or anything, and I don't think doing a sense cap or adding a sense cap will be much more beneficial there. So, well, all right. So usually with the Monday stream, even though it's on Tuesday, I try to like usually keep it around 1 beer / an hour. I'm good to kind of like wind down if you are, if there's anything you want to talk about.
Not really. This has been awesome, and it's fun to kind of share the knowledge and help other people improve their miners. That's awesome, and hopefully, it sounds like with all the questions we're getting, obviously, other people are liking the help as well. So, Helium's just a cool project, and I don't think it's going anywhere. So, with just a quick comment on the fact that it's dead. I'm with you. I mean, it's not at this point. IoT could be huge, and I was even reading an article that there's a bunch of other companies trying to jump into this as well. The partnership with Dish Network. I mean, there's just so many things this could develop into, and we're just getting a slice of the pie early here, I think. So yeah, I think anything you can do to kind of improve your setup is gonna lead to those earnings. But at the end of the day, there's you can also be happy with a certain point too, because it's just not realistic to mine 10 or 12 HNT a day with how many miners there are on the network. We're just those days are in the past, but there's still a lot of growth to come, I think.
Yeah. No, I think with the average right now, everyone's getting like 0.14. So unless you're like a super spoof or spammer, okay, Joe, man, thanks, man. Then of course you're not going to get those monster numbers. I think I saw some guy making 20 still to this day. It's ridiculous. Eric Lydell said, did a reboot, says sync on reboot. Is a fast sync needed? No, you should be okay if you're all synced up then. Let it run for a little bit and go from there. Thanks again for the $5 super chat. We're getting some super spam from Joe the Man. Let's put this user in timeout. There we go. Finding a hotspot with smaller numbers of witnesses provides greater rewards. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is there. Do you have any projects that you're secretly eyeballing that you might be jumping into in the near future?
Ooh, I see. You're trying to get me to spill my secrets here, huh?
I do have one that my buddy Mind of Tron sent me to Rev for, and he wants me to start covering. So I'll pull that up on screen here in just a moment. But it's not a plug and play miner, though.
Yeah, the plug and plays are kind of my bread and butter. What I'm always on the lookout for. I did just post a video on that door miner.
Yep.
Which partnered or was bought by Constellation blockchain there. So I don't know. That's kind of a very unique project, but also pretty cool. I don't know if it's as useful to individuals like you and I, but I could see the corporate uses for it. So that's one. I know I was gonna maybe cover a demo as well. I don't know if you've covered that at all, but that's supposed to integrate into HNT, kind of keeping on subject here. Any of these projects that also integrate the IoT is awesome, and now even like Planet Watch is developing a Type 2 sensor that's supposed to integrate with HNT. So that's just another thing that shows, all these other startups are kind of piggybacking off the HNT Helium network, and so I think that's pretty cool as well. I don't know. I'm of course always on the lookout for those new projects, but those are kind of the things that have been on my my radar recently.
Yeah. I saw someone comment earlier. They're asking if we're going to do Weather XM. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so I was actually lucky enough to get one of the beta ones. it's supposed to be delivered at any point, well, shipped out at any point. Still waiting on that, so I'll definitely do an unboxing of that. I think it's very similar to Helium, except instead of transmitting IoT, you're doing the very micro pockets of weather data is what you're transmitting, and who knows, they could even maybe piggyback off the Helium network as well. So I don't. That one's a little tricky though. I don't know if that's for everyone. I don't know if everyone wants to have a big weather device on their roof, that weather station on their roof. But I think it's got some potential as well. I think that one's well early on that one as well, and the devices are reasonable, but I think they're kind of hard to get a hold of at the moment.
Yeah, I get a lot of requests to do that one, so I'm thinking about reaching out to see if maybe, of course, be a YouTuber and say, hey, can we set one up? I live in Florida. We have stupid weather, so why wouldn't I want to do it?
Yeah.
And also I like the device too, potentially, because down here in Florida, and I'm sure everywhere, we water our lawns, right? You have like a irrigation system. What I've seen on them, besides the little like doodad that spins around, it looks like a water irrigation automatic sensor that I've seen in some of these high hoity-toity neighborhoods, to where they would sense if it's raining and not turn your irrigation system on. So they would have a little thing that's catching up and filling up with water, and if that triggers at a certain point, it would then tell your irrigation system, don't water the lawn, it's raining. So I don't think HOAs have any qualms or issues with that. So if I put that up here and then I go through and I send a complaint to myself because I'm on the HOA committee, I'd be like, no, man, it's a irrigation sensor. Come at me, bro.
There you go.
So why do people congest miners? Hello from Poland. Hey, Eric. Sorry I'm late, but I had patient. No, it's cool. Absolutely cool. Thanks for being here. MM says Weather XM and Planet Watch would be cool. Hey, what's going on, Savannah? Helium. Wait, it would be cool to see how weather affects air quality. Yeah, it would be pretty cool. I do know that sometimes before it rains, you get that really cool like smell. It's hard to describe, but I wonder if like Planet Watch would be able to, or wear sensors would be able to detect that. That's pretty cool. Would love to get sensors online, but cannot find available sources. Any ideas on source of soil moisture ones? What's the soil moisture ones? No.
Yeah, I'm not aware of those either.
I've been seeing that on Fonz channel. Weather XM seems cool. Yeah, it does seem cool. It's weird a little bit to me. Like, I like the doors, and like you said, it would be it's just good to bring content, like kind of test out the one here, and I would just probably put that in front of like my kids' room because they go in and out all the time. But we're kind of like leaning away from true mining versus selling data. Like, does that really fall into like cryptocurrency at that point? Like, yes, you're doing this data and stuff, and is it being stored on the blockchain? Is that being utilized for technology? And you're getting rewarded in crypto, but at the same time, with the Planet Watch and the Aware sensors, like, we could still get rewarded in USD, like real money, like sent to our PayPal account, I guess. So it's, I get where, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yep, there you go. I get it, but like, we're kind of branching a little away from the true mining experience. Like, even technically with SCP, we're not mining per se. We're getting rewarded for hosting data,
Right. And I think the crypto rewards just kind of factors in, and it's just a way to utilize almost, I guess, advertising to a group that they figure probably is okay with selling some of their data and then earning rewards based on that. So yeah, it's interesting because you're absolutely right. I call those more of like the alternative miners. They're not the traditional Bitcoin miners that are the clunky loud ASICs, or even the GPU mining where doing equations, and so it as much as you say, well, is it good to sell data? I don't know. I think a lot of data is exposed one way or the other. So it's kind of personal preference, and who knows what they're really using it for. But in some cases, maybe it is being used to make the world a better place or have a good application. So Yeah, alt miners. That's what I kind of like covering, and it's interesting to see these great minds thinking of these cool projects and different ways to utilize that type of technology.
Yeah. I saw a meme on I browse a Reddit subpost hold up, and I saw a meme where it was saying a guy in like Tokyo developed a toilet that collects data and you get paid in cryptocurrency for pooping. I don't know if it's real, but I was like, I would be a millionaire because with my toilet, I would be a millionaire. You can collect this data, I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah. That's a little invasive for me, but hey, teach their own, right?
Exactly. Like sometimes if you go out for some Tijuana Flats or some Taco Bell, collect that data, buddy. So on that note, I think I'm going to end the stream here. I've got my work phone blowing up like crazy. So, and I've got to do a phone call at 3:30. No rest for the wicked, right?
Yeah, I'm with you. I probably need to hop on a meeting myself. So, Price, I really appreciate you hosting me today. This was awesome. Hopefully we can do it again. And thank you guys all for tuning in. Really appreciate you hearing my 2 cents on some of this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see as you grow, if you do anything like this, collaborate and pop up on your channel. And of course we can host another stream together, not like every week or anything, 'cause that might get taxing on both of us and all the technology crap I have to set up. But yeah, I'd definitely love to do it again.
Awesome. Sounds great.
So
looking forward to it.
All right, man. Well, with that said, link for Fonz Findz channel is in the description of this video. Go over there, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, like this stream at the end of it. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe, like all that good stuff. Other than that, I'm O'Prius. This is Fonz Findz. We'll see you guys next time.